So in 2022, I bought 2 saddles for my young horse. I bought a monoflap cross-country jumping saddle and a monoflap dressage saddle. I bought them about 6 months apart, and since then I have been using them and loving them and having nothing but great things to say about them. But today I am shipping them both off, well not today exactly, but this week I am shipping them both off in boxes to the United States because just my luck that both of my saddles are part of a massive saddle recall. So if you've been following this channel for a while, you'll know that back in October time, I was having some saddle fit issues with my horse, and I had a saddle fitter out and we had them refit to him. It basically just involved removing some flocking from the front panels, and he was happy as Larry. So that was end of October. I spent a few $100s on an appointment with my wonderful saddle fitter, and all was well. 3 or 4 days later, I get a message on Instagram from or maybe it was Facebook, from my amazing friend Natalie, with a link posted by Collegiate Saddlery, which is the brand of saddle that both of my saddles were. And one of the reasons why I think it's important for me to make this video is because 2 of my most viewed videos on this channel are my unboxing and initial impressions of my jump saddle and my unboxing and initial impressions of my dressage saddle. And that is how I think some people have found me, and I still get comments on both of those videos to this day. November 1st, so it was literally October, like 2 days after I spent a few $100 on saddle fitting, that I got a link to this post. Saddle recall information, Collegiate. And it says, and I will read it, "At Collegiate Saddlery, we pride ourselves on providing our customers with high quality products that ensure the safety and comfort of both the rider and the horse. We recently discovered a potential fault and are recalling a number of Collegiate saddle models. Further information can be found, blah, 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 blah." So I go onto their website. All saddles of like 9 different models made between 2019 and 2023 were being recalled because of a potential issue with I think it was the rivets that attach the stirrup bar to the saddle coming loose and causing people to lose their stirrups and potentially fall off. I was frustrated because I had just spent money having some saddle fit issues resolved by having the fit adjusted to my horse, and now they're telling me I have to send my saddles back. Admittedly, I'm making this video, what day is it? January 24th? That recall was nearly 3 months ago. They were telling us not to ride in them. Admittedly, I was also thinking I've got 6 weeks until my horse goes on his winter break. I basically accepted the risk and continued to ride in them. I don't advocate for this. That was me making a potentially dumb decision. I made the decision and that's what I did. And thankfully, nothing happened. I totally intended on sending my saddles off, like in the mail, to them before Christmas, but that didn't happen. And then I got home and I was sick and got COVID, and it's just been a big delay. So it's January 24th. I'm only going to be sending them off probably on Friday, which is January 26th. Merlin is coming back into work on February 1st. So I have a feeling that the first, like, at least month of him coming back into work is going to be groundwork, lots of lunging, long lining, things like that, and bareback. Potentially not the smartest thing, but I wanted to make this video because I have chronicled my saddle journey on this channel. I thought that it was important to be open and honest about the fact that my saddles were recalled. Now, I will say, I mentioned I was annoyed. I wasn't annoyed at Collegiate. Like, yes, it's annoying and it's an inconvenience to have to box up and send my saddles in the mail and then wait for replacement saddles to come. Now, I will say I'm getting 2 brand new saddles out of this, so I can't really complain, but there is going to be a gap in time when I don't have a saddle to ride my horse. He's not going to complain. When I say I was annoyed, I was mostly just annoyed at the fact that I had just spent a couple of $100s on saddle fitting. The timing was just really, really bad, and I honestly was in a little bit of shock because I have never heard of like full saddles being recalled before and replaced. Like, sometimes if there's a recall, it would make sense to me to send the product in, it would be fixed and sent back. They're literally replacing all of the saddles, and because this is such a mass recall, I don't know how much of a gap there will be in me getting my saddle back. So I'm hoping if I send them off this week, I think at minimum it'll be 4 weeks. Basically, what I'm trying to say is I was annoyed at the timing, but not with Collegiate. I actually really, really respect them for being open and honest about the potential defaults in their products and doing everything that they can to remedy the situation. And yeah, on their website, they have really, really clear instructions, and so these are all the models that are affected. So this one here, the Collegiate Degree Mono Event Saddle and the Collegiate Integrity Mono Dressage Saddle, those are my saddles. And then there's a bunch of other saddles that are affected as well. Basically, the first step involved me taking down the serial numbers of my saddle and me filling out a form and submitting the serial numbers and proof of purchase and all the info about the saddle, size, color. And then they were meant to send me back a shipping label within 72 hours of submission of both of the forms. Unfortunately, it did take them a bit longer than that, but that's okay. I sent a follow-up email. I think I submitted it last Tuesday, and I submitted a follow-up email this Monday, and they responded within 2 hours and sent me the shipping labels for both. So last night I went out to the farm, I brought both of my saddles home, and I'm going to go to U-Haul tonight, buy some boxes, and hopefully the saddles will fit. Really? Bingley? Hey! What are you doing? You know, there are many things that Canadians are good at, and one of them is complaining about the snow. We're good at complaining when it doesn't snow when we want it to. We're good at complaining when it snows when we don't want it to. And we get too much snow, not enough snow. And I think this rule applies twofold to Canadian equestrians, because we also have the issue of the ground to worry about. So in the fall, in like November, when it's cold but still warm enough in the day for the paddocks to thaw, we want it to get colder so that we don't have to deal with the mud anymore, and so that our horses don't have to deal with the mud. And then once it snows, we're like, ah, there's snow. Therein brings me to the end of my thoughts. I am now headed to U-Haul. It is 6:07 p.m. and I have 53 minutes until it closes. So see if we can get it done. It's raining in January. It's not supposed to rain in January. I hate when it rains in January. $7.80 for 2 boxes. Not bad. I'm hoping that they're gonna fit. They had an extra large and I thought it looked huge. So probably should have measured my saddles before I came to get boxes, but such is life. And remember how I said that Canadians are good at complaining about snow? Canadians are also very good at talking about how people who live in warmer countries don't have the right to complain about snow. So we complain about snow, but we also complain that other people don't have the right to complain about snow because we have it so much worse. You know, there are a lot of things that suck about being an adult, and I know I sound like a zillennial broken record in saying that, but one of the many joys about being an adult with adult money is if I want to stop at a grocery store on the way home from an errand at 7 p.m. and get some nachos and a Lunchable, I can do that. So before I do any packing up of saddles, I'm going to be making myself some nachos. We have a freezing rain warning tonight, and I think it's safe to say that that rain is frozen. Okay, howdy my friends. I have a Bingley with me. Come here. I have a Bingley with me who's probably going to be very disruptive during this whole process. It's now Friday. I'm aiming to potentially go bring my saddles to the post office today at lunch. So I need to get them boxed up. The instructions are, bless you. The instructions are telling me to remove the gullet. Okay, so the dressage saddle fits. I probably could have gone with a medium for my jump saddle, but this is what I have, so this is what we're gonna do. Because I know how shipping companies can be please treat gently. So here they are. all boxed up. I have the shipping labels, and I just called the post office. You can really tell that I am decluttering and renovating my apartment. I just called the post office, and I'm glad I did because I was about to cut out and tape on the shipping labels, and I'm glad I didn't because apparently they have a special sleeve that they put it on with. So I'm just gonna bring those, go to the post office on my lunch break, and send my saddles off. Kind of a sad thought. Okay, so I just got to the post office, and it's funny, even though I live downtown and there's post offices within like 3-4 minutes of me, it's quicker for me to drive a little, I mean, I'm still downtown, but it's quicker for me to drive a little bit out, like 15 minutes from my house, and bring it to a less busy post office because the post offices around my house are busy all the time. I'm gonna bring one in. I've got the shipping labels and the commercial invoices here. We'll try one, and if it works, I'll come back and get the other one. Oh my goodness, so that was legitimately the least painful experience I've ever had at a post office. If you're Canadian, you'll know what I mean when I say Canada Post. Yeah, it was great. I brought the first one in, we tried it out, it was fine. I brought the other one in and we're good. So therein brings me to the end of my first saddle recall video. I will do another one when my new saddles arrive and getting them fitted to Merlin and things like that. I'm hoping it won't be any longer than 4 weeks, like beginning of March. I was planning on doing at least 2 weeks of groundwork with him anyway, 6 to 10 sessions before getting back on. So that's not a huge issue if I have to ride him bareback for a week or two. His first couple rides back after having a break, I normally just do walk and a little bit of trot anyway, so should be fine, but we will see. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the thumbs up, comment down below, and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. As you can tell, I'm still a little bit sick. I've actually just bought some more cough syrup because I've gone through an entire bottle already. I'm feeling completely fine otherwise. This cough just doesn't seem to want to go away when I do physical exercise. Anyways, have a wonderful day wherever you are. Don't forget to give your horse or pony a hug or a kiss the next time you see them, and I will see you next time. Bye!